guys, OG Merpe, here with you tonight. I'm going to be DMing some D&D. Usually on Wednesday nights, I DM for three friends that are local. We play an online game. Unfortunately, one of those, all of us actually are in a little bit of a state of flux right now with our scheduling, and so it's been a little bit less consistent. But all of that to say that we are going to run the off-brand one-shot that we have been running, which is the Lost Mine of Phandelver, as well as the Dragon of Icespire Peak. They both take place in the town of Phandelver, so it's really easy to just run them both out of the same town, especially because the Dragon of Icespire Peak really does not have a lot of meat and potatoes. It is primarily run off a job board. So I basically just stuck this job board in this adventure, and that's how we go. Also, full disclosure, we play a homebrew system that is more closely related to Pathfinder than it is to 5e. Things have just been converted for my players, but that's what D&D is about. That's what homebrew's about. Making it individualized for each table, make sure everybody has fun. So let's get to the two players we got. Let's do a recap. There was a third player playing with us last time we played this campaign. He is not here today. His character will be making a swift exit as we get started here. But let's just go ahead and get to it. Okay, guys, I am live. I'm so live. So very alive. Okay, why don't we start with character recap, and then I will do like last time on Dragon Ball Z recap. So, Bink, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bink is a Gripply, which is basically like humanoid frog race is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
She is really short. Like we're talking, I think we came up with the term like she's like 1.5 foot tall. She's not that
Yeah. In
big.
the like 2 feet and shorter range for sure.
Yeah, she is under the 2 foot. She does not weigh that much. She resembles like the blue poison dart frog, so like real bright blue skin, the black splotches on the skin. Best way I can describe her is kind of like rogue ish, like
Yeah.
a rogue. She has like the dagger is made of bone. She's with like the loincloth and stuff and like bone necklaces and yeah, she's just making her way downtown, becoming like a goblin god.
Yeah. Well on her way, as of the last one. Hans, buddy boy, talk about yourself.
All right. So I am playing Hans, human barbarian. His big characteristics is that he starts yelling whenever he goes into rage, and that he wears a metal helm that a certain Gripply likes to go on top of whenever we're not in combat.
Hell, even when we are in combat, she dived off of it last time.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that. And then you guys were also last time playing with Sylvester, I believe he's a half elf, uh, you know,
Washbuckler.
oddball
I
swashbuckler, kind of a quirky dude. Um, he was the one who had the idea to remove the goblin head, I believe, and like
sick.
put a bunch of torches in it and like make it like an intimidation bomb basically, and that's how his twisted little mind works. Unfortunately, the player who plays Sylvester, Evan, is unable to join us tonight, so Sylvester will be running off to tend to some business here before too long. But that brings us to last time on Dragon Ball Z. Uh, Hans and Bink met in the town of Phandalin, which is not a sleeping mine. It's like a frontier town built on the ruins of another town, and it specifically is in close proximity to what everyone believes to be the Echo Mines, which are these old mines that were set up as a pact between gnomes and dwarves a long time ago, and hold a lot of incredibly valuable resources. And it's like a treasure hunting Wild West style town. There's not a proper guard, but all the citizens are armed. They do have a town master, but he's scared of dragons. It's a very interesting place. On your guys' way out of town, you talked with the owner of the local provision store, Barthen, of Barthen's Provisions, and he informed you that there was a dwarf friend of his who, he expected to see who had gone missing along the Tribord Trail. You guys are traveling along the Tribord Trail for a completely separate job, which you pulled off of the job board in town. It seemed like there was an urgent message from a sheriff named Big Al who lives on a ranch, and it seemed to be some kind of trouble, and you were needed urgently out there. So on your way out, you found an ambush site with goblins lying in wait and a couple of dead horses in the middle of the road. You were able to successfully counter ambush, follow the trail of goblins to some sort of like cave cavern system with a creek running through it. There were some goblins posted out front who you went ahead and cleared out. Just inside the door, there were a set of wards who were chained to a stalactite who actually broke free of their chains and began attacking you guys. And then there were, various other, goblins floating around in these caverns as well, whom most of which you killed until you got to the last room with said goblin head intimidation bomb. That coupled with Bink in a single shot, one-shotting their apparent leader, who was guarding some kind of human, not dwarf, human prisoner, seemed to have a serious effect on their morale. And after finishing off the last of those who had any fight left in them, there were three goblins who threw their weapons down and threw themselves prostrate on the ground and, begged for their lives. And Bink loudly proclaimed that she is now their god and they are in service to her. Uh, you guys have discovered, most of this cavern system. There is a little bit of space you guys haven't been to yet. You have this prisoner who, who presumably you have just rescued. And, you guys also have three goblins who are, very nervously looking at each other, looking at you, and just hoping that they're going to be able to live to see tomorrow one way or the other. From here, we're going to pick up, and I am actually going to start as Sylvester, who turns to you, and as Bink proclaims loudly, "I am your god, serve me!" And the goblins throw their weapons down and throw themselves prostrate. Sylvester, with a bit of panache, sheaths his rapier and says, "Well, it seems like you folks have this under control." And he starts counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's like, "Oh, and there are more now than we had when you started, so I don't suppose you need me anymore. Tip top cheerio!" And he begins just skipping down and out the cavern the way that you guys came, and disappears out of sight.
I know it's a little late for that now, but we had the suggestion of he goes and says that let's go get the rest of them in the cave, and we don't see him from there because he runs off and goes the wrong direction.
My other idea was just because our old D&D group was the rule of if you didn't show up, your character got sick and is shitting in the corner. Just that's all.
Oh, I like that. It's like a shame. It's like a shame thing. Like if you can't
where
make
if
it,
you don't, you are sick, throwing up,
like
and
it's
shit.
understood that none of the monsters are gonna fuck with you either. You're just
That
gonna
shit
be.
is so strong. None of the monsters. It's that like antibiotic when you're taking your antibiotics and your piss smells like asparagus and your shit's monstrous. That's what it is.
Oh man, that
Oh.
is great. Terrible and great.
On like the sight of kind of Bink seeing this, she's just gonna kind of look at Hans and she doesn't have eyebrows, but I'm imagining like how there's like the bones and stuff in there. It's just like
Yeah, the
how do
ridges.
people yeah, like this look of just
The Hans is just gonna say he'll find his way, I think.
Ah.
He was lost when he found you guys in the first place, so
That's
he's used to being lost, right?
oh, out of curiosity, okay. Just so I can place it. The G10 is helping the one human, right?
I don't remember why G10 is there. Yeah, you might have like told them.
Yeah, I remember like Bink being like, "You go help him" or something like that. I just wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
that was it.
and Bink is still on perched atop the stalagmite, and
On
so
her throne.
so I'm gonna say about this time, G10, one of the goblins, is like helping like a haggard, older looking human man of about 50 years old, up the stairs, and he looks at you all and thanks you for rescuing him, and he has a name and stuff, and
It's
and
Potato
there's like
Bob.
lore and all this fucking things. Okay, he comes up and looks you two, I guess, in the eyes and say, "Thank." Wasn't that wasn't there a third?
There was.
Bink is gonna go, "Ah,
Um, anyway, and he like takes an awkward step like away from the goblin. Now that he's standing on his own feet, he says, "My name is Sildar Hallwinter." He says, "I was traveling with my friend Gundren Rockseeker. He's a dwarvish fellow with quite a bit of passion for things that shine and glimmer. Let's say." He said that we were ambushed and taken here by a group of goblins. He says, "I know that they are led by a bugbear named Clarg, and he said that I heard Clarg being given relayed orders that the dwarf, and he says, oh, and my map are to be brought to the Black Spider." He says, "Whoever he is, I don't know who he is, but they mentioned something about a Craigmaw Castle." Um, he says, "Anyway, have you cleared? Is this the last room? Have you cleared the cave? Are there more? Have you found this bugbear?"
Bink is gonna look towards Hans and be like, one area, no go."
Yeah, there was across what used to be the bridge. There was one cavern we didn't get to explore. I heard some
With
voices down there, so I doubt it's clear, but we can go and check it out.
Bink is gonna kind of, because I remember the king. She's gonna look at what's his name again? I heard dog.
Sildar.
Sildar. Oh, I thought you said Sildog. I was like, what
No.
up? Okay. No, she's gonna look at Sildar and be like, ah, Goblin King? Like, to try to see if he's heard anything about that.
Uh, and he has not heard anything about the Goblin King. He says, "No, I don't know." He says, I think Clark is just the leader of this band. He's not the king. That's so, oh God, I don't even want to think about who would be a Goblin King. I don't. That's not a
Bink is
pleasant thought.
gonna grumble and she's gonna jump off the perch and can she jump over to here?
Yeah, for sure. Easy.
Okay. And she's gonna look at these two goblins there and start speaking in goblin and go, who is he talking about?
Oh, who is he talking about? Wait, who? Clark or the king?
Both.
Okay. Let me flip back to what the goblins know. Give me a second. So, full disclosure, I'm running this out of a book. Usually, I run a homebrew campaign where I have all the details memorized. This is out of a book. I don't have all the details memorized. Let's see here. Okay. Great. He, one of the goblins looks at you, terrified, just unable to speak. The other one says, Clark is our leader. He's a bugbear. He's here." And he like points down the chamber that you guys came. "Just go back that way. You'll find him." And he says, King Grawl says is our king. He's in Craigmore Castle. That's all I know. Very powerful, well guarded."
Why he take dwarf?
Uh, and He says, I don't know. Really, we were just Clark just told us to get the dwarf. And he like looks over and he points at the old man, and he says that one killed 3 of us while we tried to capture him in the first place.
That kind of note, she's gonna kind of look back to him, look back at them, and goes, "And we killed 10 of you. You fight for us now, or else."
Roll intimidation check for fun. We're on a new session.
Da-na-na-na-na. Get my dice roller up.
Bow, 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 bow.
Da-na-na-na-na. Okay, my character sheet. Get to the skills. Okay, so my intimidate is 5. Dirty 20.
Shit, that is fucking killer. They are going to, yeah, whatever you say. Kill. And they look up at you, and they like look at their daggers, which they've thrown on the ground, and they like look back at you, and they like look at their daggers, and they like slowly start to reach for them.
Bink is gonna look at him and go, "Wrong move. Death by vomit."
And they say, and they're gonna like flinch back and yeah, we know it's yeah, of course.
She's gonna kind of just glare and look back up at the human and go, "You fight too?" And just asking him.
Sildar's going to walk over to the goblin that Hans just finished off, and like reach down and pick up, one of his daggers and try to like, shake it off. And he says, "I'm not really in a fighting condition. They did a number on me, haven't given me a chance to rest. But says if it comes down to it, I'll do what I can."
Okay.
Hans is just gonna toss him over at Cure Light Wounds.
Okay, all right. He will take it. How are we running Cure Light Wounds?
I think it was the D8 plus intelligence.
That sounds right.
And if it's 0, it's just +1.
Yeah, that sounds right. That's a 10. As much as I'd like to roll that, I can't roll that. A 6. I have a stat block for him. Sildar, how smart are you? It is 6. He heals for... That's total hit points. Come on, Sildar, you bastard. That's a hit die. Okay. Sildar immediately like pops the top, chugs it down, and then like wipes the a bit of dribble off of his jaw, and he stands up a little straighter, has more like oompa in his step, and he says, "Okay, I think I'll be of a little more use to you now."
Bink is gonna kind of look at Hans and be like, "Plan. Send them in. We sneak behind."
I don't know how sneaky you can be. I think there's only an entrance.
And Bink is gonna hold on. I'm gonna look at the map because Bink has been through the waterways. So the one we haven't explored. To clarify, this area over by the 2, it kind of starts to go to a staircase before Black Box of Doom. Let me see. Can I circle in this?
You right click.
Okay, hold on. This area. Oh wait, hold on. That's not right. This area.
Yeah.
So is that like a staircase?
No, it's not a staircase. That's like a rock slide.
Oh, I thought those were steps.
No, it's like a rock slide.
I'm not talking about the one behind the wargs. This one. Over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did see one over here. Yeah, those are steps. But I don't know how far up they. I don't think they go up substantially. I think it's just a few steps. Let me double check that though. I don't want to change the information on you. Yeah, I mean they're it's not substantial. I mean for Bink it might be, she's only 2 feet tall, but for normal people it's not substantial.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was wanting to check. Okay. So Bink is gonna just go, you can you make it over not bridge?
You're talking Sildar?
Talking to Hans.
Hans.
Oh no, let's see.
Uh-huh.
And Hans is gonna like pick up a torch and just walk over here.
As
And
Sildar, oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna follow you. Is Bink?
Yeah, I think Bink is gonna like kind of put her arm over and tell the goblins to start following.
They will go in front of you, and Sildar is gonna ask Bink. So what did the goblins say?
Boss, bugbear, king has dwarf.
This is interesting. Do they know where this king is?
Yeah. That's what Binks is gonna go. And she's gonna look at him and go, "Don't worry, we find." And kind of pat his leg, and then just start walking.
Cool. Hans, you get to the location the bridge previously was in. It is still connected on the far side, but on your side, it is a sheer, like 20-foot drop down to the water, which is only, a foot or two deep.
Hans is just gonna look down and like turn around and ask y'all know any other way down? It's a 20-foot drop. And I think it's only goblins behind him, so he's tossing the question to them.
And they just are looking at you nervously, looking at each other, just very, like, jumpy, jittery.
Bink, can you speak to them and ask them if they know another way out of here?
Bink is gonna look at it. She's gonna take a look at this 20-foot drop. Could she like lasso a rope to one end and they can just use it to crawl across?
She could if she could like find something to anchor it to on the other side, but there doesn't appear to be anywhere obvious that she could like toss a rope onto from here.
Okay, what about just a rope to climb down?
Yeah, I mean I'm assuming that you guys have like a starting kit or a Dungeoneer's kit which has like
Yeah.
hammer and pintons and shit, so you could like nail.
Okay.
You could like put a nail in up here and like rope.
Okay.
Climb down.
Bink is gonna take out like a bit of rope and tell Hans, hammer, and smack the ground and like hold the rope in place so she can get ready to tie it.
With pleasure, and he's gonna take out one of the little stakes and then just use his axe as like on the flat side to hammer that in. So hammers.
Us breaking the bridge is coming back to us.
And so I mean that's all good. That's pretty mundane tasks. I'm assuming Hans is strong enough to do all of this. So it's you guys stick the stake in. Bink ties the rope around it, and tosses the other end of the rope over the edge of the cliff, and you guys have a rope dangling down. And if you
Bink is gonna look at Hans and go, "You sneak," kind of asking him if he's gonna sneak or not.
No.
Ah. Ah.
If you guys want to go first, you can go first.
We go in, you charge. Yeah? Yeah?
Before or after you see.
After.
Okay.
Get to stairs. We go in. You surprise.
Alright.
With that, Bink is gonna start climbing down and like wait till the goblins get down. So
Yep, all good. Not a substantial enough challenge to merit any dice rolls. So you get to the bottom, and the first goblin, clambers his way down and like looks up the rope at the second goblin, coming down. And he like helps his goblin friend down, and the third one, starts coming down and like slips and just kind of like falls and tumbles the last couple of feet and just kind of like poof, lands on the ground. And Hans is still up top. Bink, please roll a reflex save for me.
okay. Bink dies because Han's fat ass crushes her. Oh gosh. Let's hope
There's
not.
one of the goblins right now.
18.
Would you two of the three goblins, not the one who just tumbled and is like laying down, like up to his chin in the water, but the other two begin to like bolt back down out the cave, and you can roll a CMB check for grapple to try and restrain one of them, if you like.
No, I'm not, because they could go warn people.
They're running like out of the cave. So you guys are heading like into the cave this way, and they're running like back out the way you guys came in.
Yeah. Okay. Bink is going to. Could she try to like hold one down and grab the other with her tongue, or no?
She is only gonna have enough time to try and get one of the two.
Okay. Okay, she's gonna try to grab one.
Okay, sounds good. So let me move G9 and 10, or the G7's the one who's stuck. Roll a CMB grapple check.
Okay. CMB or CMD?
CMB, because B is the one that has the plus modifier, right?
Okay. Roll my dice. Come on. 14.
14. I need to double check what the goblins' dex is. Plus their size modifier. Oh no, you have the same size modifier, so those would cancel out. And that is going to just be successful. So you are able to maintain control of G9 while G10 continues to slip down the passageway. Hans, this is all very obvious to you. What are you doing at this point?
Hans is going to. Okay. He is going to try to go halfway down the rope and then jump the rest down.
Roll me a dex save. Or a dex check. Dex roll. No, actually, you have a whole acrobatic skill. Do that.
Let's see. Oh, nat 20.
Ooh,
Let's see
bloody.
what the 21 total.
Yeah. You're not trying to jump a 50-foot gap, downhill, tumble, do a somersault, come up, grab a magical gauntlet, and Indiana Jones out of there. You're just like jumping down a fucking 20-foot ledge with the rope. You're super fine with as much flair as you'd like. You land on both feet, ready to take action, whatever that may be.
He is going to football linebacker rush at the goblin to tackle him.
Yeah, no big deal. You have more movement. You're a bigger size category. You are going to be able to catch up with him for sure. I'm just going to roll a quick acrobatics check for him. Yeah, so just before the edge of the cave mouth is where you're going to be able to catch up with G10. Bink, you see Hans just like you hear a like thump splash as he like hits the water and then just like tears past the goblin that you're holding down, down to the edge of the mouth of the cave, and you see him just like straight out just full blown tackle this fucking goblin. And you can see, you glance over your shoulder and you see the third goblin just like sitting there in the water staring wide eyed at you guys, like not having moved an inch.
She's gonna look at the one that's in the water and go, just kind of look at him very like with her dark, beady eyes and slit this throat of the goblin underneath her.
Okay, I love it. Yeah. So you are going to coup de grace kill goblin number 9 as an intimidation check on goblin number 7.
Definitely.
Cool, love it.
She warned him, and
That's
she said,
gnarly.
"You don't fuck. If you fuck around, you're gonna find out."
That's these goblins are finding out. That's more than fair.
This is like when mom goes, "I'm gonna slap you if you don't stop crying," and you didn't stop crying, so now you got slapped.
Yeah, man, this is rough for these goblins. Yeah, he's absolutely petrified. He's not going anywhere.
She's gonna go, Hans.
Yeah, keep in mind, Hans has tackled a goblin to the ground in a stream of water.
She just continuing to look at this goblin. Kill it. Emphasis. She's like emphasizing the it.
Okay. Hans, he's tackled it from behind, so I think he's gonna grab its head and just hit it into a rock.
And you hear, no, no! Oh, I guess you don't speak goblin. You hear, give it back! Come back! Come back! Give it! Come back! Brain matter all over the fucking rock. Very dead goblin.
With
the goblin who is staring at you, Mary, is...
You mean Bank?
Bink is just not, like... He's in shock. He's in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bink is gonna just wipe take the blood from the throat, and she's gonna put it on her hand. She's gonna walk up to him and just slide her down her like thingy pads down his face. And in Goblin, she's just gonna whisper in his ear, "You live by my accord. One move, you die."
They're not even real words. They're just these like terrified sounds coming out of this goblin.
She's gonna just go, where's the one human dude? Did he follow us?
He's still like standing on top of the. Actually, you look up to find him, and he's like making his way down the rope, and he like lands, and like brushes himself off, and like looks up at like the carnage down here, and he's like, you all have been busy.
She's gonna look at him and go, rope?
He's gonna say, it's still pinned up there. We can cut some of it loose, maybe, but
At this point, Hans is coming back, and he just gives it a tug to try to like just knock it out.
Hold on, I'll be back. Someone's at the door.
that's fair. Hans, roll me a strength check while we're doing that. Let's give it a tug.
Ooh. 9. That was a bad roll.
Yeah, you give it a tug, but you tug and you tug and you pull and you hear the sound of like of the post like creaking up there, and you give it one more like hard tug and the rope like snaps right where it comes over the bend around the corner and just like comes down in your hands, and you've lost 3 feet of rope at the end, and the ends the ends are all frayed, but you have recovered most of the rope.
He grabs it thinking he got all of it, but he sees the frayed ends like, if only it was someone else who put the thing into the ground, it would have been so easy. But it was my handiwork.
And Sildar like pats you on the back and says, "That's all right, old chap."
What I miss?
Hans tried to pull the pinton loose, like he just tried to tug on the rope to pull the whole thing loose, and he didn't pull the spike out of the ground. He like the rope snapped where it was like rubbing against the bend where it was like coming down, and and Hans was cursing himself because he was so strong driving the spike in the first place that it couldn't be loosed by his own strength, because his own strength is what put it there. And it's just kind of funny.
Does Hans have any rope?
What's up?
Does he have any rope?
Let's see. Yeah, he has rope.
Bank is just gonna look at him and go, rope. And put her little bloody hand out.
I mean, he's gonna give her back hers because it only lost like 3 feet of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, you lost, from the edge of the cliff to, wherever your spike was. That's the only distance you lost.
Bank is gonna go take the rope and start wrapping it around this goblin and have Hans help her tie it.
Are you doing like wrists and ankles? Are you doing like hog tie? Are you doing like arms at the side? Like what?
I'm trying to kind of tie like the ankles to the wrist so he really can't move. So I guess hog tie.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. And he's just letting you do this the whole time, making. Well, I guess they would be scared goblin noises, but his face is underwater part of the time, so it's. And you successfully hog tie him. He's not fighting you. He's fucking terrified.
On that note, Bink is gonna look at the guy we just rescued and kind of just hand him the goblin and go, "You guard. We kill."
And he smiles and looks at, and he like crouches down to like make eye contact with the goblin, and he like looks up at him and says, "Oh, we're going to be good friends, aren't we?" And he grabs a tuft of hair on his head and like nods the goblin's head in response. He says, "That's a good goblin." And he like takes the goblin from you and like slings him over his shoulder.
Even though they're evil goblins, I feel bad.
I don't think I'm taking the Mary Plumbottom stance of fuck them goblins.
Fuck them goblins.
But on that note of fuck them goblins, not Mary, damn it, you rubbed off on me, Dave.
I'm not the only one.
Vink is gonna kind of look at Hans and just go that way and go roll into sneak.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Where is stealth? What's 14 plus 16?
That's an even 30.
30? Hans is going to be 10 feet back, attempting to do stealth as well.
Okay.
We got the much lower score of 10.
Okay. Sounds great. And then I guess Sildar is going to pick up on what you guys are doing. He is also going to attempt to roll into stealth. He is hindered by the goblin he is carrying, though. It was making things more difficult for him. That is interesting. Okay. He's going to hang back with you, Hans, and creep at whatever pace you're creeping. So you guys
Um,
have two major ways up from here. There is the bridge, which Hans knocked loose, which is now basically operating as a ramp, and then you have the original way up, which was this kind of like roundabout way here.
Okay. I guess Bink is gonna start going up the roundabout.
Okay. And if Hans is just following you, I'm assuming he will let us know if there's something he wants to do or say. So you guys make it up the
yeah.
roundabout. You're on the upper platform where the low rock wall is supporting these pools of water that Bink just was in not too long ago as you guys were sneaking in. And you kind of glance around and there doesn't appear to be any goblins in like the vicinity.
So he's gonna turn, look back at Hans, and kind of point in the general direction of the stairs. I sneak up, see what's there. You stay here, watch.
All right.
And with she's gonna start sneaking.
Okay.
Dun dun na 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 na
Moving to
na.
the foot of the thing. I got to figure out. I think this is number 8. I can't remember this thing is in the book. Okay. I'm assuming that you're gonna like do some version of peeking your head in first, or are you just walking straight in?
She's gonna kind of like once she gets to the stairs, she's gonna like. Can she do a perception check for like sound?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm eating a round table pizza at the moment.
No, you are all good. I just got done with my own dinner, and I have leftovers, so I'm gonna have me some chicken and fries or something when we're done here, or a break or something. So all
Mm-hmm.
good.
19.
You hear a couple of like hushed voices, like and then like you hear one more voice, more sharp. You can't make out any words, but you hear, and then a third voice, and then all the voices go quiet.
Bink is gonna like. First off, she's gonna look for traps.
That is a great idea. You can roll your trap sense
Mm-hmm.
perception
Oh, thank God, I rolled
skill
real good. Okay.
thing.
27.
You look around and yeah, and you don't see anything that looks like a trap. The most dangerous thing that you can see in the area is in the middle of the room, and I guess I will. Bloop. Nope, nope, that's not right. Bloop. There we go. In the middle of the room, you see this fire pit, which has like embers. It's not like actively lit, but there are like low embers in it, and that looks like the most dangerous thing in this room. However, because you are here and you rolled that perception check, I know you were listening, but you can also see as well. So sacks and crates of looted provisions are piled up on the south end of this large cave, so directly opposite of where you are. To the west, the floor slopes towards a narrow opening, but you can't really see the rest of it from the doorway. And in the middle of the cavern, large coals of fire, or the coals of a large fire, smolder in the middle of the pit.
Okay. Can Bink is gonna get to like the top of the stairs, and she's like fully crouching to try to stay in the shadows as much as possible.
Right.
And can she at this point see anyone?
She just rolled a perception check for listening. Give me just a sec. Hmm. 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 Roll me one more perception check for your looking, not your listening. Dogan! Love you too, man. Glad to have you around. Thanks for stopping
That
in.
scared the shit out of me, Dave.
No, it's my buddy. He's here in chat, being
22.
a homie. 22.
22.
Yeah, you look and you see like the elbow of a goblin sticking out from behind the crates opposite you. Yeah, yeah.
Could Bink? Okay, because Bink has like a water sack. Could she use her tongue, hold the water sack, and pour it on the fire? Like, just take the water sack and like throw it onto the fire to like turn, like, took it out, or is it too big?
The fire would the. I mean, it depends on what she is trying to accomplish. She would make the room a little bit darker by doing that, but she doubts she has enough water in her water sack to completely douse the embers.
Okay. How much darker? Like
Uh,
substantially or no?
I mean, for somebody who does not have dark vision, it would be substantial. But if you had dark vision, it wouldn't matter very much at all.
Okay.
Because, like, right now, Hans could see dimly in this room, but if you throw a water sack on it, it's probably going to be too dark for somebody like Hans to see without a torch.
Okay. So one of them is hiding over behind the over here, right?
Yeah, you saw one over here. Yeah.
Okay. Bink is gonna like where is like shadows right now where he could has the most like hiding capacity.
I mean, they're like the outer edges of the room because the light source is emanating from the embers.
Okay. She's gonna stick to the outer side of the room and just kind of creep along here and see if she can see anyone hiding like in this area or on the other side behind the goods.
Okay. Hans, at this point, you've lost sight of Bink. What do you do?
He is waiting for a signal.
Okay, and you guys are.
Whether it's
Will
the
you
picture.
move? Will you move yourself wherever you are physically waiting for a signal?
Yeah. Hans is gonna like start is like slowly just creeping up to like here, but he's gonna wait there.
Okay.
Dave, look at the picture he drew.
Oh, there's another picture.
Look, it's so cute.
Hanging on the edge of the cliff. I like that.
Looking over them stairs.
I like that. That's good. Big, she's like, look. Oh man, I don't know if I have this set up to be able. Oh, I do. Haha. Here's little Bink, little eyes, little fingers, fingies. Here's the embers in the middle and the water behind. God, I fucking love that. That's so great. Okay. Okay. So you're waiting for a signal, Hans. Sildar turns to you and whispers, in kind of a hoarse whisper. Wow. Does she normally go in alone?
She can take care of herself. You saw how she took out that one guy. But yeah, she tries to go in alone because I'm not the quietest.
And he like kind of looks you up and down, and he says, "I believe that." And he, you know, and he like readjusts the goblin on his shoulder, and the goblin makes kind of a sound. And he says, "I'm not particularly stealthy myself."
Bink's a strong, independent frog.
A strong,
Don't
independent,
need no
gripply woman. Okay, so Bink comes around the corner and finds herself face to face with another goblin who cries out in exclamation as you turn the corner, and I need you to roll initiative.
Okay.
No surprise round because they were as surprised by you, presumably, as you were by them, because you guys are literally a foot apart. He's hiding in this corner, so we'll see where the dice lie on the initiative.
Okay.
Hans, go ahead and
12.
roll initiative for yourself as well.
Yeah, he heard this. He's going in there.
Yeah.
Bink rolled. I think a 12. I think 13.
Okay, give me a second. Bink.
Ooh,
Hans.
that's really bad.
Did
What the hell is his name?
Hans roll a 2?
Sildar.
He rolled a 1 that turns into a
Oh.
2.
Oof. So Hans got a 2. Bink, what was your final?
13.
13. Okay, so this goblin shrieks, and Bink like hears the sound of like crates and barrels being like scooched and knocked over. Hears like a growling sound coming from behind her, and there's a goblin there. There's a goblin over here.
Like Oprah, you get a goblin. You get a goblin.
This is an orc, but he's not actually an orc. He's a bugbear, but bugbears look more like orcs than they look like goblins, so that's what I'm
What
using
exactly
for him.
is a bugbear? Like a big daddy goblin?
A bugbear is basically, yeah. So there are three primary types of goblins. There are the goblins that we all know and love, the ones that you guys have been fighting this whole time. There are hobgoblins, which are the same size as humanoids, and they, uh, you know, they actually will put themselves in, like, what would look like a real civilization. And then there are bugbears who are, large, like orc-sized goblins that, across the board, all three types of goblins usually are led by like the strongest and the most fit. So bugbears almost always tend to like lead other bands of like lesser goblins. Bugbears don't normally come together for like their own civilization because there's a lot of like infighting, and it's like a bunch of, it'd be the equivalent, the real world equivalent of a bunch of like alpha silverback gorillas trying to live together. Just wouldn't work out very well. So
Yeah. So bugbears are like the goblin's cousin on steroids.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
And kind of glancing around the room, you can see that there's the goblin whose elbow you spotted earlier. There's the goblin who you are now face to face with, and you can see, coming out from behind a pair of stalagmites. Oh, Roxy, you're here. Hey, Soto, check your emotes, bud. Check your emotes for the channel.
Is it the baby?
Oh, because look, here she is. She's right here, and there is a Roxy emote now. It exists. I commissioned them. So
Aww.
here she is. Here's the puppy. I'm gonna do it because I love this Roxy emote. So boom! Look at that. Look at her little puppy face. Little puppy face. And then speaking of puppies, there is a bugbear with a grisly ass looking wolf as well.
For a second, I thought he had a warthog.
It is a warthog. I just don't have.
Okay.
The picture is of a warthog. I only have so many pictures pre-done,
I was gonna
preloaded.
say, if it's a warthog, I already know Big Skull, and it's to ride the warthog.
Ride the warthog.
Dun, dun. But I honestly think she's just gonna stab the goblin in front of her on impulse.
That makes sense to me.
This is kind of the best way I can describe this is like it's when the person like fight or flight when you scare someone.
Yeah.
This is like if Andreas popped out around the corner in the middle of the night and I punched him right in the nose. She's just gonna stab at him like right in his face.
Just stab at him. You hear that? You taking notes there, bud? This mangy pet wolf. Mangy pet wolf does not have a name. Okay. Then we're gonna go wolf. Go ahead and roll your attack on G1.
Okay. Dun dun. It's been a while since I've used the daggers.
Been a while.
Okay, so 1d. I do 1d4. Okay.
Okay. Now, ladies. Yeah.
Okay. 1d3. Okay, and then I add. What do I add? Oh wait, hold on, I messed up. Okay, sorry. I forget you have to actually see if it hits.
You're just rolling damage.
Yes. I was like, okay, I guess we're just
Roll your attack. 12 damage. Did you hit? How did you know?
Oh, it definitely hit. I rolled an 18 plus 8.
That's gonna hit a goblin every day of the week.
Every goddamn day. Okay, and then 4 plus my dexterity, which
Dex.
is okay, so 8.
8 damage. That is substantial, but G1 is as he cries out and screams. Oh, you speak Goblin. Screams in Goblin. Kill the expletive. Kill the stupid frog. Whatever the fuck it is. And that was 8 damage.
Right on the word of frog. Not frog, stupid goblin, Gripply, and she's gonna twist the dagger and pull it back out.
Yeah! The goblin is not happy. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Okay. Anything with the tongue, is that considered an attack?
I mean, not anything, but I mean, the way you've been using it, yeah.
Yeah. Can I like hold him down, or is that an attack?
That's standard action scrapple.
Okay. Wait, so can I or can I not?
No, you cannot. You could because you've attacked him.
That's why I'm checking. I forget the names for stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, in layman's terms, if you attack somebody across the board, pretty much all you can do after that is move.
Okay, so movement. Ben, can she just run down the stairs?
She can. She will provoke an attack of opportunity from this goblin she just stabbed, though.
It's worth it. She's gonna run down the stairs.
Okay. So then you can move.
She wants to try. Can she get to the bottom of the staircase?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. The goblin's going to take his attack. Hiya! And the dice show 14. He's going to get a modifier.
Hit?
That is an 18. Does it hit?
That hits. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, when you said 14, I have a 15, so I was like, if he has a modifier, it hits.
Yeah, he has a modifier. That is 5 slashing damage from his scimitar as he gets you in the back as you run away from him. And he says, "Vengeance!" As you run away.
When she gets to the bottom, can she see Han and Sildar now?
Hans is holding the torch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. She's gonna look, kind of go, 2 goblin, 1 bugbear, big dog.
Okay. I'll be there in a second as Hans is like getting up from behind the what's the stalagmite.
Stalagmite, because it might reach the ceiling one day. Stalactites hold tight to the ceiling. So I'm sorry. So you're gonna. I know it's not your turn, and that's part of it. Sildar is going to holler at you and say, "Do we need this one still?" And like readjust the one on the shoulder.
Bink goes, "Yeah, you goblin," and she's gonna scream this in goblin. "You fight now or die."
And Sildar's gonna say, "Okay, I don't speak their language. What am I doing with him?"
Untie him. He fights.
Okay, sounds good. Sildar can't do anything yet because it's not his turn either, but sounds great. Cool. You done, Bink?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is the baddie's turn.
The Bad Bitch Alliance.
Yeah, the Bad Bitch Alliance. Let me see if Clark does anything cool. He's thing's named, so you'd think you could do something cool. H-I...
Curiosity, that one goblin that we one-shotted, was there any, like, cool information on him?
It might have been.
Can we know his name?
That's the trade-off for killing people in one shot. You don't get to learn what they had to say. But I don't remember. I don't think he was like a major component. Because I think all the goblins pretty much know the same thing, and it's Clark who's the big guy here. But I'm not sure. Give me a second. Okay, he's a bugbear. The attack does one extra die. One extra die. What?
We're full.
Um.
Dave, it was nice knowing you. I had fun while it lasted.
I'll say, what's their move speed? Yeah. 10, 15. Yup. Okay, what about the wolf? Does he do anything crazy? T-U-W. Okay, great.
It would have been really nice to have an extra body right now.
You got Sildar.
Yeah, but we would have had Sildar and Sylvester.
Sylvester couldn't make it. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andreas. I guess his weddings are just too important, boo.
Oh,
when our wedding comes up, Dave's gonna skip it so he can play D&D. There. There you go.
No, weddings are one of the few things I will actually cancel D&D for. It takes a lot, though, let me tell you. Okay, this is going to be really fucking nasty. So, the wolf and Clark coming up on Bink. The Gobos, 5, 10, 15, 25, can't really push past, but they're kind of clogging up the space there. The wolf is going to make his attack first.
Oh no.
It's a bite attack. He only gets one.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. And it's only a 7 to hit, so I'm assuming it's not going to hit.
It's not going to hit.
Yeah, that's fine. Then Clark is going to take an attack. He does not have multi-attack either. Great. Roxy, knock it off.
Get over here.
Go on.
Roxy, come.
Go on. It's the 6th of July and fireworks are still going off, so.
Oh, poor baby.
Okay, Clark rolled a little better. He rolls a 15 to hit, which you just said is your DC. Your not DC, your AC.
Mm-hmm.
What? Out of curiosity, what's your total hit points?
Currently?
No, like when you
33.
Oh, I guess not unreasonable then. What are they currently?
28.
Okay, so max damage would not quite kill you. That'll be fine. We're good. He swings at you with his Morning Star.
4.
And deals 9 piercing damage.
Oh. Okay, not bad. Okay, I'll take that. 19.
The two goblins use their standard action to pull out their little bows and load them. But that's all the actions they get in a round. Okay, so that's them. Then it is Sildar, who is going to use his standard action to set the goblin down and to, to look over at Hans and say, "You keep an eye on this one. I don't want him stabbing me in the back." And slit the ropes and allow him free. Then he is going to use his movement to come stand next to Bink. But then he doesn't have a standard action anymore. And he turns to Bink and says, "I'm with you!" Holding the goblin's dagger in his hand.
Bink in response is just going to do the frog war cry of wah, 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 wah.
Love it. Love it. Brings us to Hans with his initiative roll of 2.
Hans is going to be like to the goblin is like, you do anything, you turn into a pool of blood like your friends over there. They're like your friend next to you, that one goblin that's next to him, dead. And
point to the corpse. End up like him.
And then Hans is gonna go into rage, and he is going to go here and take a swing at Clark.
Okay. Take a swing at Clark.
Now let me just add rage again. Okay, there we go. Healthy strength score of 20 for Hans here.
To hit?
No, just the score itself.
Oh, I see. Once you apply your rage.
Yeah. Nice, nat 20.
Oh shit! That is going to be a motherfucking crit. Well, we're playing Pathfinder rules, so roll again to confirm it. But that is for sure going to be a hit. Probably going to be a crit.
Let's see. 18.
That is going to confirm. So roll your damage. Take the number on your dice and double it.
Oh, it's not double, it's triple.
Oh, motherfuck! Oh, okay. All right.
Come on. That's the way. I like it.
So roll and triple.
Roll, and you triple the number on the dice, and then you add the flat modifier to it. So, 2d8 plus 2, you double whatever the 2d8 is, or triple in this case, and then you would add a flat 2 to it.
Andreas, one shot kill it. One shot kill the bugbear.
He's got enough hit points that maybe he'll one-shot it. There's a chance he'll survive, though. He's got some hit points.
Oh, that is so bad. I rolled a 1.
Oh, no.
So, we're doing a total of 3 plus 7 damage. We're doing 10 damage.
On a crit, you're doing 3 plus 7.
Hold on. Do we have any of points we've been given in the other game?
Inspiration, I don't know. I'm not keeping track of whether or not you guys have inspiration.
I do not have any inspiration, unfortunately.
Can I look in my notes and see if I have any?
Okay, so here is I will present with you all the nuclear option. We can run this campaign like we run our other campaign, where critical hits assume that, they assume that one of your dice is max roll. So you'd roll your dice instead of tripling it. You'd roll 2 dice, and then add it to, what are you rolling, a d8, a d6?
D8.
So you'd get 8 on the d8, and then you'd roll your other dice, to see. Usually it'd just be 1, but because it's tripled, it would be 2 dice, and you'd see that way you'd be guaranteed a base of 10 plus whatever, the 8 you get plus the 2 ones. So in this case it would be 10 plus 7 for 17 damage, which, full disclosure, will still not one-shot him. But should any of the enemies crit against you, they will get this same advantage. Totally
I honestly, I kind of like that, because it's a one-shot, so...
I'm good. I don't think dying. Plus, I also don't really understand any of it.
Yeah, it is a little more convoluted. It's not as straightforward. Kind of the long and the short of it is that, exactly like the scenario, Hans rolled a critical hit, which are super rare, and in Pathfinder you have to confirm your crits, which makes them even more rare. And then he goes and rolls a 1. Whoop-de-doo, 1 times 3 is 3. Like, who gives a fuck? So instead what he would do is, we would pretend that he rolled an 8 instead of rolling a 1. But you don't, instead of just doubling or tripling that 8, you'd say, great, one of your dice rolls was an 8. Now, because it's times 3, you roll 3 dice. Now roll the other 2 dice and see what those numbers are. then even if he rolls 2 more 1s, it's 8 +1 +1 for 10, and the minimum he could do with a critical hit would be 10 damage plus his modifier of 7. So it just it guarantees that a critical hit will be more substantial, but it also guarantees that a critical hit against you will be more substantial as well. So I mean, it has to be a unanimous player decision. So whatever you guys decide.
Okay. I think we should keep it the way we are now. Because I have on my sticky note, I got 1 point. Can Andreas take my 1 point and re-roll? Because I think this is a bit like.
Yeah, if you want to
anti-
give your inspiration to Andreas to reroll on his damage roll instead of rerolling a d20 for a skill check, that is more than appropriate, and I
Okay.
will allow that. No big deal.
My love, I will give this to you because that was fucking anti-climax.
Big anticlimax.
All right, we'll stick with standard rules then,
Come on.
and re-roll and hope it's so.
All right, reroll triplet, whatever the number is.
If you
Good
re-roll
dice.
a 1, I'm gonna kick your ass.
There's a 1 in 8 chance that that's what he's gonna do.
It's time for good dice. Where do I have a D8?
Come on, hun.
I don't think I have a D8 for that dice set. It's weird.
Worst case scenario, use Google Dice.
No.
No, I refuse.
I refuse to trust the algorithm.
I will not put my fate in RNGesus.
Okay, much better. I did a 7. So times 3,
yeah.
21.
21 plus 28. Your 7 is 28 damage.
Yes.
Ooh. And
he
goes down.
He's dead.
Clark goes down. He is dead. He is Gonzo. He is Dunsky. That
the Goblin God gave you another shot, Hans.
That did it.
And he regains a rage round for that.
Both the goblins behind him, however, do appear to have steeled themselves and do not appear to be affected by the death of their comrade. They instead screech in protest.
Hans will try to overpower them in his own yell.
Bink just yelled too.
Yeah, Bink can always yell.
Just Bink in response to all of this is a ah. And I want just imagining, when Kermit the Frog screams, it's this Muppet hand open in the air.
Yeah.
That is what you're seeing, and she's gonna look towards Sildar.
And Sildar's just holding his dagger here up in the air. Okay, that's great. Hans, would you like to do anything else on your turn?
No, that's gonna be it for him.
G7 begins to cautiously make his way up and stand next to Bink and look at Clark and look at Bink and look at the wolf. He's gonna hold his dagger up. He's gonna take a kind of half-hearted swing at the wolf, which is not gonna hit him. But he's gonna turn to you and say, "See, I fight."
Bink is gonna look at him and go, "Keep fighting."
Great, and that's it for all of them. Bink, it's your turn.
Okay. What the closest thing to her right now is the dog, right? The wolf.
Yeah, he is threatening this whole anybody who wants to walk past the wolf to engage with the goblins.
Could Bink get on top of it and ride it like a rodeo?
No.
Dang it. Oh. That was my plan. If it was just hop on top of it and start riding it like rodeo. Okay.
No, I mean, he'd just roll
I
over.
guess tongue stab.
The wolf?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll them dice.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Oh, they're doing fireworks.
You got him too.
Does a 15 hit?
It does. Roll for damage.
Woo! 4 plus 4 is 8.
8 damage to the wolf. As you watch his blood become matted, or his fur become matted with his own blood, as your bone dagger pulls free of the wolf, and he howls in pain.
When Bink's tongue returns, she gets as she starts taking the fur off of her tongue. And just in the meantime, she's gonna do a perception check on him.
Okay.
To can she see how damaged he is?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give that to you. Another hit like that should do him in.
Okay. Bink is going to. Can she just hop back a bit?
If you hop back more than 5 feet, you will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Can she just hop back just 5 feet?
I mean, you can. You're small, so you can be in either G7 square or Sildar square.
She's gonna go. Can she hop onto Sildar?
Yeah, I've let you hop on people before in combat.
She's just gonna hop onto Sildar's head.
And Sildar looks up and kind of picks you up and puts you on his shoulder instead and says, "Right, onward."
She's like his Pikachu.
Are you done, Bink?
Yeah.
That means it is the baddie's turn. The wolf is looking for retribution, so he's going for you, Bink.
Oh no.
Fucking. Here we go. Ow! That is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
I need you to roll me a strength saving throw, please.
Would I use her strength or dexterity in this case?
Her strength.
Okay.
You are trying to remain upright.
Oh, okay. 15.
That will succeed. You are still upright, however. You are going to take some damage as soon as I get these
Is
finicky
she still
little...
on Sildar's shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay.
The wolf just, has enough reach that he can rear up on his hind legs and still chomp at you from where you're at. He is going to do 7 piercing damage with his little bite there. Little bite. G1 and G2 are going to back up. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. And they're both going to draw their bows on Hans, who they just watched fucking murder their leader. And they're going to take attacks on him with their short bows. Ooh, they rolled really well. Does an 18 hit you, Hans?
Yes, it does.
Then they both gotcha. Let's see these guys here. That's okay. That's an average roll. That is 9 piercing damage as 2 arrows land, one in your gut, one in your shoulder, from these 2 goblins, and they shriek with just a nasty little gleeful, sound escaping from them. From back
Hans,
in
in
their
response, just rips them out of his stomach and tosses them to the side.
That's fair. That's more than fair. That's it for the bad guys. Brings us to Sildar, who is holding a little dagger, standing right next to the wolf. I feel like that's a natural target for Sildar. And he says, "How about thee? For the fra," and he turns gripply. And He rolled very poorly. I'm sure he.
Eh.
I'm sure he misses on a rolled 3. Um, so he swipes and misses the wolf and says, "I will get you next time." And that's it for Sildar. Hans, you're up.
Hans is gonna drink a Cure Light Wounds potion.
Yep, sounds good.
Ooh. Okay, that's not great. Alright. He's feeling a tiny bit better.
One iota. One tiny iota better.
Yep. And then he is going to go past the yeah, he's gonna attack the wolf.
Attack the
He
wolf.
will go for the wolf. Yeah.
Cool. Give him a go. The wounded wolf.
I don't think that's gonna hit. Let's see what that
He's got a
turns
pretty
into.
low. He's got a pretty low AC.
Lower than 11.
It is not lower than 11. So swing and a miss from Big Hans, just swelling with confidence over slaying the bugbear with one swipe. That ego gets in the way as he assumes, oh, this wounded wolf shall be nothing, and is unable to find purchase.
That's gonna be it for him.
Okay, great. That's it for Hans, which means it's up to G7, who's gonna roll a morale check. Yeah, man, even the dice think this goblin is scared as fuck. So, he's gonna take another half-hearted swing at the wolf. He's still not really sure about all of this. Who's actually gonna hit him though? And he does like the tiniest amount of damage to the wolf, who is still standing. But he rolled a 1, so he's not. It's a very shallow cut. But as he like holds his blade with blood on it up to you, and he says, the blood of your enemies, the blood of your enemies, to Bink.
Bink is just gonna like smile at him.
This is the equivalent of like a tiny thing throwing a rock at a big thing, and then the big thing just smashing the small.
Okay, but Goblin 7 brings us back to the top, which means with Bink, you're up.
She's gonna stab the dog.
Okay, give it a roll.
Alright. 14 hit.
That hits. Roll your damage.
Yeah. 7.
7 damage. How would you like this wolf to die?
Bink is gonna stab it in the throat.
Sweet. Sounds great. And it
Simple,
bleeds all over the goblin, who gets hit with an arterial burst of blood, as you stab it. And the wolf is dead. Dead. Great. You still have your movement, Bink, if you'd like to use it.
Nah.
I'm about to say, you can just keep riding Sildar.
That's bestiality, Dave.
Well, only for him. Cool. Then we're up to the baddies, and we're getting down to it. So this should be pretty easy. They can't really back up any farther and still see you guys because you're. Well, I guess they could back up to about here and here. All right, Bink, you are up for being the target here, since you have killed the most recent thing. One is a. I can't remember. Depends on their modifier. Hold on. Goblin for their short bow. Great. One of them is a 14, which I know does not hit you. The other is a natural 20. I'm rolling to confirm. And then a 13 does not confirm for you. So one miss, one regular hit. That regular hit did roll full damage, though. So lucky that wasn't a crit. It is only 8 damage of piercing damage to you, Bink.
Yay!
And that's it for the goblins. Which means that Sildar's now up. And he's going to, before he says, he's going to turn to you and say, "Are you all right? I'm going to go get the rascals."
Bink is just gonna go. Ah. And she in this moment, I guess, just jump over to Han's head or no?
You did not use your movement in your last turn, so we'll call that yes, but only because you didn't use your movement in your last turn.
Okay. She go jump onto Han's head.
Okay, great. And Sildar says, "Yes, well, onward!" And he moves forward to engage G1, and he takes a little swiggity swipe with his dagger, and that's gonna hit. Finally, Sildar, you're getting in the fight here. I gotta look up and see what you do for damage, my man. Oh, except you don't have your long sword. You have one of the goblins' swords. So what do the goblins do? Okay, I know what the goblins do. Which is gonna hit, and then oh sweet, he rolls max damage. So G1 gets hit with his own goblin-style dagger, and appears to be significantly wounded. Sildar's done, and Hans is up.
Hans is going to
Network! What's up, man?
with I'm assuming Bink on his head. Just
Don't
go
worry about
past up
being
the
late.
stairs,
I'm
up
just glad you're
past the
here.
body of Clarg,
Yep.
and then the coals are they're still just embering, right? It's not a hot fire.
It will not be comfortable to stand in.
Okay. Hans doesn't plan to stand here for very long, ideally.
Okay.
So, standing and kicking up the coals and everything, he's gonna take a swipe at G2.
Sounds great. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Oh, nice. 25.
That's gonna hit the goblin all day long.
Uh, 11 damage.
For Goblin 2. That's the first time he's been hit. But goblins are shrimpy, and that is enough to just wipe him out. So he is super gonzo's, very much dead. How would you like to kill him?
I'm assuming Hans just kicks some coals onto his eye onto his feet or whatever whenever he's coming by, and that distracts the goblin enough for him to just go for the head with his axe.
Love it. Please note that you did take 1 point of fire damage for standing in the burning coals.
Okay. Thank goodness he had more than 1 hit point.
That would have been embarrassing. The Goblin 7 is up. Who looks around and seems to have gotten a hold of himself, takes his dagger, turns and looks at Bink, and says, "For Clarg!" and rushes Bink.
Which goblin?
Your goblin, G7.
Oh, I thought I was on Han's head.
Oh, you are on Han's head. I'm sorry. We got to move you. 5, 10, 15. Doesn't matter. Same difference.
Yeah.
He's going to roll his attack. And he's got flanking on you, so that works in his favor. That's gonna hit you for sure. Roll an 18 plus his modifier, and he does 4 piercing damage with his scimitar.
Okay.
And I'm gonna change his band to red because actually he's not dead. Red is for dead people. I'm gonna take the pink band off of him. That's it for him. And we're back at the top. Pink, you're up.
Bank's gonna tongue slash him.
Yeah, give it a go.
Nat 20.
Cool. Roll to confirm.
Ew.
17.
That confirms. Roll your damage, double the number on your dice, and then add the modifier to it.
Oh, he's dead. Doubled it, so it was a 4, so that turns into the 8, plus my modifier is another 4, so 12.
12 damage will kill a goblin. How will it kill the goblin, I guess is the question.
Can Bink actually just jump down with the dagger in her hand and stab him instead of tongue, or no?
Yeah. Normally I wouldn't let you move as part of that, but you guys are obviously getting towards the end of this battle anyway. So yeah, for sure. For Flair, jumps down, stabs him, just like standing on top of him / over him.
Yeah, he's just gonna stab him right in the throat and like whisper in his ear in Goblin, "I told you, one move, die," and that's it.
The goblin just gurgles in protest before he dies. Cool. Anything else you'd like to do, Bank?
Bink is just gonna, cause she's at like 7 hit points. He's just gonna like look towards Han and just go, ah. She's just gonna kind of pick her dagger up, and can she just start walking to the exit?
Yeah.
Okay. She's just gonna walk to the exit to try to get in the water.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can get all the way to the edge of the water.
Okay.
Great. Are you done?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. G1 is going to take his turn to pull out his dagger instead of his crossbow. He's going to stab at Sildar, who just stabbed him. He is going to maybe hit him. I don't know what Sildar's AC is. He is going to hit him because Sildar's armor has been taken from him. And he's going to do some significant damage to Sildar, who looks like, who's definitely still standing, but Hans, another shot like that, and Sildar will likely fall. And you're up, Hans. I only have one bad guy to run now.
Hans is going to turn to look at the that one goblin, and he is just going to attempt to basically he's basically gonna swipe. He's gonna try to bat him with the axe, like slam him into the boxes behind him.
The only important question I have for you is this non-lethal?
No.
Okay, great. Roll your attack.
Nat 1.
Roll to confirm for giggles.
Oh, that's not gonna confirm. 10.
That's all right. You're still gonna hit him. So roll your just a regular damage. But he's already been hit once. I don't think he's long for this world.
Yeah, max damage for a total of 15.
Ooh, how would you like to eviscerate this goblin?
I'm thinking he basically bats him into those boxes behind him, and you just hear boxes and bone break.
Yeah, Bink just hears this crushing sound of and clattering of shit falling over, wood splintering. A goblin cry that has a little bit of the ice cream truck effect, where you can tell it's traveling away from you. Before Hans let out any kind of exclamation or anything?
Uh, it's like a honestly, it's more like a yeah, ow as he like steps out of the coals. But then
Okay.
it's like just a sigh of relief as he comes out of rage.
And Sildar turns over and says, "Good show, chap." Uh, very pleased with you. And I will let you guys pick it up from here when we come back from our break. We are, about halfway through. We're going to go for another hour, probably, hour plus after our break. It's 9:15 right now, so we'll call it back no later than 9:20, and you guys can pick it up from the now cleared hideout, Goblin hideout. Cool. Be right back, guys.
All right, see ya.
hustle like that all the time. That'd be great. That's what I'm saying. You do.
Probably get a lower grade.
Who's getting
That's
a
what I want
Who's
to
getting a lower
know.
grade? Why are we getting a lower grade?
Oh no, I'm doing a discussion post right now, and my teacher has a rule of when he says one paragraph, it's a minimum of 7 sentences. A bunch of kids on the discussion post don't do that, and I'm like, is this really a requirement? Are they getting a lower grade, or are they getting the same grade as me and writing less?
They're probably getting a lower grade because the professor's just like doing the easy thing of counting sentences rather than actually reading stuff. Like honestly, I think it's probably more likely the professor's not reading anything and just going through and counting the sentences that people are writing than it is, you know what I mean? Than it is that
Yeah.
they're sneaking past. But who knows? Okay, welcome back. You guys have just defeated all of the goblins of the hideout here, and are now for the first time able to like actually catch your breath. Sildar turns to the two of you and says, "Thank you
Well,
again for coming to my aid." He says that you know that he was
it,
traveling with Gundren, who had a map showing the secret location of the Wave Echo Cave, but the goblins took it when they captured him. Sildar believes, he says, I think that I think that Clark sent the map to, and my friend, to the chief of the Cragmaws at that Cragmaw Castle. I heard a few of the goblins speaking of. He says, I'm not sure where the castle is. He says, but I'm sure someone in Phandelver knows. He says, I've more business to tend to there. Anyway, if you would be so kind as to escort me back, I'd be happy to secure a loan with Barthen to pay you for your trouble.
Bank is just swimming in the water. She's swimming in that pool, getting all the blood off.
We will absolutely do that. First, let us see if we can find any goods and trinkets on these bodies.
Yes, of course. Very practically minded.
We stealing some shit. Once Bank is clean, she'll get out of the water.
Sounds good.
And probably go. She's gonna go look over at the barrels that people were hiding behind over here.
I'm sorry, mark it one more time. Okay, got you.
Like right over here, and just start looking around for stuff.
Okay.
Just to let you know, if you hear vibration noise, I'm using my claw machine, so.
Got you. No worries. Okay. Go ahead and roll charisma checks, the two of you, for your looting process.
Flat roll?
Plus your charisma modifier.
Okay, so flat roll. 6.
Okay, so flat roll.
Okay. Dun dun. 11?
Hans, you find not a lot of actual cash on the goblins themselves. Most of what they have are like, old bones and broken chess pieces and, bits of twine and leather and, just general bullshit. But you do pull out of the pocket of one of them a small, smooth jade like frog statuette. Bink, you are like sorting through the supplies, and a lot of them are like practical supplies, or they look like stuff that has value, but only in bulk. Grain and food and some miscellaneous leathers and cloths and things, like not a whole lot that is valuable to you guys as adventurers that you figure they plundered off of different merchants as they pulled through. However, underneath one of the like blanket tarps, you do find a small chest, which is locked. And I know that you're a rogue, and I'm not going to make you roll for it because you have all the time in the world. So after some time, you are able to pop that bitch open, and inside is 600 copper, which is the same as 60 silver, 110 silver, 4 potions of healing, and silver ring.
Bank is gonna look in, and she's gonna look at, is Hans, like, looking at the frog statue and that stuff?
I know it.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
do you have it in your hand? Bank is gonna go, trade.
What is for the money?
Yes. Frog. Frog. She's gonna start going frog. Frog.
Sure.
And she's just gonna go over and take the frog statue and start looking at it.
So let's see, what was it? Basically 60 silver and...
Yeah, if you're going to boil it all down to its total value, it is about...
18 gold?
No, hold on, give me a second. 110. It is about... Yeah, like 18 gold. And then there are also 4 potions of healing and a silver ring in that box as well.
Ooh. Okay. I'm just gonna put 18 gold in big bag of coins.
Night Token, much love. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I will run for you on Tuesday.
He's gonna take the.
Your mic's unmuted.
No, I'm talking to Token. He's saying good night for the night. He's out. He's done.
Oh, okay.
So I'm telling him that I love him very much and thanking him for stopping by. So.
Oh, Bink is gonna grab one of those health potions and
Okay.
chug that bitch.
And you're just gonna chug
Hans
it,
will take the other 3.
or you're just gonna pocket it.
She gonna drink it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your
What do I roll for a health potion?
D8 plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay. Where's that? 3 plus. Come on, purple dice, move. $11. And then she was on 7, so she is at 18.
Okay. Sildar turns to the two of you and says, "Now, if you feel like you've gotten it all, what are you ready to head back towards Phandelver?"
Yep.
Bink is gonna jump back onto Han's head. And in the meantime, can she do any inspections on this jade frog, see if she recognizes it as something more than just a jade frog?
She can do an appraisal check to see if she knows how much it's worth, but I'll give it to you. It's a mundane statue. It's just a jade frog. But if she wants to know what it's worth, she can roll an appraisal check.
Nah, she just likes it. Fun fact, I researched it. Grippleys are known for trading really expensive things for a purple cloth because they're pretty.
They know that other people want stuff that has value, but Grippleys are all about buying with they're all about those impulse purchases. That's the most valuable stuff to them.
Yeah, I watched a video on Grippleys and the guy explained it as Grippleys do not have much use for monetary items. So if they are fine money and you're I have this pretty tablecloth, do you want to trade? They'll go, yeah, if they think it's nice looking.
Right. But they care about, do they have that attachment to it? Do they think it's nice looking?
They just like it. They're just ooh, pretty.
Right.
I'll take it.
Fun.
And that was the fun thing is there are things like that where if you go into Gripply clans and shit, where it's generational items of a simple thing as a handkerchief, where it's this is my family's sacred item. Because it holds much value.
It's like a thimble or some shit.
Yeah,
it's not.
Because they just liked it.
Yeah.
Normally it's something bright colored and shiny. It's what they put it as.
All right, I like it. It sounds like you guys are going to pretty much loot and scoot and head back towards Phandelver. And if that
Loot, scoot, and toot.
that is correct, then during your walk back down the Tribor Trail, the pair of horse corpses are still in the middle of the road. And Sildar looks around and says, "Yes, this is where they attacked us."
How many were there that attacked you?
And he says, "Oh, it's hard to remember." He says, "I felled 3 of the beasts." And he's like, "And Gundren felled at least 2 himself." He said, "There must have been a dozen of the little buggers."
Dozen, that's a lot.
He says, "Well, no more than were in that cave that you all rescued me from."
Bankus is going to be on top of Han's head, kind of doing the she's ready for it. Can she sleep on top of his head right now? Curl up like a cat?
I mean, I'm assuming that her pads are sticky enough that she wouldn't fall off. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, Bink will go sleep.
Then in that case, Sildar's going to turn to Hans and say, "I'm very eager to get back to Phandalin." He's going to say, "My contact in Phandalin, Iarno Albrecht, is a
Hans,
wizard. Is a wizard, and he established himself in town a few months ago from where I hail from, the Never Neverwinter. I can't remember the name of the town. Uh, too small, can't see it. Anyway, you can say, but then we hadn't heard from him, and I came to find him, and before I could track him down, these goblins captured my friend Gundren and I. What about you two? What brought you along the road? How did you come to find us in the first place?
we were looking for a guy named something Al. I don't remember. Weird Al, I think.
Okay.
We came across those horse corpses, and we thought it was just best to see what was happening, and we figured we saw the trails leading into the forest, followed that, and came across that hideout.
It's like, well, quite lucky you did.
Oh, this is difficult. I don't know what I want to do. Well, I want Hans to be.
I know it's your
In
first
the
role play
distance.
opportunity.
Yeah. On top of Han's head, you're just gonna start hearing the very, very light.
Cute.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I need to give us some time for that.
Cool.
Figure out
You're
or
all
what I
good.
want to be outside of combat.
You're all good. You got time. We are going to say that you guys travel for a number of hours back down the Tribord Trail to arrive in the town of Phandalin. You guys have, you left early in the morning and are now returning very late at night. Barthen's Provisions is already closed for the evening. However, it is still early enough to grab a drink at the Stonehill Inn, should you desire. Uh, as you pass Barthen's Provisions, Sildar is going to, kind of stop in front of his place and say, "The shop's closed, but I'm sure my old friend will bed me down for the night." He said, "Come find us in the morning, and I will see to it that you're paid for the escort."
We'll do that.
And he comes over and he shakes your hand forearm to forearm, and he looks up at Bink, and he holds out his hand tentatively.
She's asleep.
Oh, still?
Yeah, she's asleep.
Then he's just gonna kind of reach up and just pat her gently on the head.
Bink is
It'd be funny if
worn
he just
out. Huh?
No, you're good. You're good.
I said Bink's worn out. She got hit by a morning star.
Yeah, from a giant ass bugbear.
I forgot to get the Morning Star.
It's still there.
We could always hit it up.
But Sildar taps Bink on the head and removes a pair of sticky hands from the crown of her head, and goes and knocks loudly on the door. Barthen, wake up! It's your old friend. What are you guys doing?
I don't know what we doing, Hans.
Hans is gonna give him the 2-finger salute kind of situation.
Yeah.
He's gonna flip him off.
No,
2-finger, not one. Yeah, there you go.
I thought 2-finger salute meant double flipping off.
Yeah, is it?
It could. It could. Yeah. I mean, but I know.
No,
I knew in this context that's not what he was talking about. So.
flips him off with both hands and brings up his
That's
axe
why I was
like while he's
confused.
knocking
I
on
was
the door.
why are you being so bitchy?
I see you
Like,
made a decision about how your character's going to behave outside of combat.
But no, he just gives him that and then starts heading towards the inn.
Sweet. And you guys, walk into the Stonehill Inn, where, and as a reminder, it's a large, newly built roadhouse of fieldstone and rough-hewn timbers. It has a large common room filled with locals nursing mugs of ale and cider, and everyone is definitely eyeballing you as you walk in, just covered in blood and obviously, had quite a day ahead of you. And let's see here, Toblin Stonehill, yes, looks up and says, "Oh, will you need to be staying for the night? Can I get you a drink, some food, perhaps?"
is it loud
Yeah.
enough in here to like wake someone up?
It gets a lot quieter when you guys walk in, so probably not.
Okay, Binks is gonna keep sleeping.
Yeah, I'll take both. I believe this one ate eggs.
You could ask.
And
Like, you can wake her up. She's not gonna kill you.
no, he there's something he plans to do to wake her up.
Okay. He says, "Yes,
Oh,
it
Nothing
was.
crazy, nothing bad.
It was a pair of boiled eggs for the little one and for yourself."
I'm in the mood for eggs myself. I'll take 5.
He's like, half dozen plus one eggs. And he says, "In a room for the night?" He said, "Will be 8 silver."
And Han's just gonna grab like the giant like coin purse with like the hundreds of gold in there, and he's gonna pull out 8 silver.
So most of it, the bulk of the treasure is in copper. So you're going to hand him 80 copper, or are you going to hand him 8 silver?
No, 8 of the silver.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. And his eyes like bulge a little bit out of his head, and you catch like one of the people at the bar like eyeing your huge fucking purse as you pay with it before they turn awkwardly and look back at their drink.
It's at Han just turns to the people in the immediate vicinity. It's not as impressive. It's all copper. It's pennies.
And you hear the patron at the bar mutter to themselves, "A lot of pennies." And Toblin disappears to go prepare your food, leaving you at the bar with a sleeping Gripply on your head and some attention.
He puts the coin purse away, and then he like reaches up to take off his helmet, like holding it from the side, and just sets it on the chair next to him with Bink in the thing, and it like wakes her up.
Are you like shaking her or what?
No, he just like sets it down and then like, hey, wake up.
Got it. You gotta be a bit louder than that, my dear. She is knocked. She's conked.
Conked.
He starts like poking her like on the side, like the cheek with one finger or whatever.
Can Bink grab his finger with her tongue?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's gonna wrap and hold on to his finger, and she's just gonna like bring it in close and kind of cuddle on it like a teddy bear.
Love it. That same patron who was like eyeing your purse, just kind of like looking speculatively over at you.
Never seen a man in his Gripply before.
They like grab their drink and like pick up their plate of food. They like get up off the bar and like walk over to the end of the bar and like set it down another 3 chairs away from you.
He's basically he's gonna leave that until the food comes, and once the food comes, he's gonna like start shaking his hand to wake her up.
Yeah, and Toblin arrives with just 7 boiled eggs and says, "As you ordered, uh, let me know if there's anything else I can do for you." And he slides 2 keys across or 1 key rather, across the bar. There you go. That's what that piece of wood is called.
Yeah, Hans basically just starts taking his hand to wake up Bink.
Bink is with feeling like the vibration of the handshake. She says,
It's like, wake up, there's food.
she's gonna hold out her hand for an egg.
I'm not giving it to you. You can get it yourself. It's right there.
And Bink is just gonna keep going till you hand her the egg.
I've seen you melt people's skulls off. You cannot. You're not a frail, weak Ripley.
Bink is kind of just sitting on, like she's laying on the helmet with her hands reaching up and she can't reach it. And she's just looking at Hans going,
Hans is just saying like he's not falling for as he like in between bites of like 2 or 3 eggs that he's already like starting to bite into and everything.
Double fisting hard boiled eggs, just tearing into them.
Yeah.
Bink's is gonna keep. She's like, and she's gonna look at him and go, oh. And like with her big old black puppy dog eyes as she blinks, but one eye blinks a bit before the other.
Hans is like in the middle of the last one, and then he just like gives in. He gives her like both of the eggs in like one hand.
Just like reaches over, like he's finishing off the egg with one hand, and like with his offhand just grabs the other 2, drops.
Yeah,
them in
like in the middle of the bite, he's like, "Here you go," and, like mouthful of egg.
Bink is just gonna like take them both in her hands and kind of like chipmunk it, just very slowly put it into her mouth and just kind of like put them into the cheeks, like place them in there.
Just whoa. Just put some.
And she gonna look at Hans and say, "Ball,
What?
ball."
I actually can't tell what you're saying.
Do you want me to say it normal, or are we gonna do charades?
I mean, if the
Because
whole
she has
point's
the
in your
eggs
mouth,
in her mouth.
I'm about to say the whole point's your mouth full of egg, and you can't really understand. So
Yeah. I'll say it one more time. Let's see if you get it. Ball.
Bathroom
Close. Divide
Bath
that. Yeah.
in the room
Big
with the key that we have.
Huh?
And bath in the room with the key that we have.
She's gonna nod her head.
All right,
Like
Han's gonna put back the helmet with her on it, and then just gonna start heading back up to the room.
okay.
I think once they're in there, he's just gonna like place Bink down by the basin or whatever, and start cleaning up himself like separate.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bink just wants to sit in some nice cold water.
That's what the basin is. It's definitely not hot water. It's not like it's not like that underground spring was nice, fresh, cool water. But it's definitely cold. It's definitely not hot. It's just been sitting in this basin for a long ass time.
But yeah, this is actually a moment for Bink. You're finally going to get to see what does a naked frog look like, and the answer is a naked frog looks like a regular ass frog.
That I kind of imagined. Yeah, is Bink like
Yeah.
bashful about that at all, or is she pretty?
Not really, no. Like it's just like nothing. There's no frog titties. Flat as a board. No real genitalia that you notice, and it's just just right in the basin, just gonna plop herself in and go to sleep.
I imagine she won't be able to sleep with Hans like also getting in the basin to clean himself out for a little while. But presumably, after 10, 15 minutes of scrubbing, Hans gets himself as clean as he's going to get himself and is able to call it for the night himself. Bink
The
sleep.
question is Hans bashful?
He's just doing his thing. It's a frog.
It's a frog.
Don't worry, she ain't looking. Or if she is, it's more of like, ugly.
I mean, he's wearing like a linen shirt and like linen pants or whatever. He's not stripping down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta think, you ain't got no bright, vibrant skin. You ain't luring her in.
And you guys both take a nice restful sleep. You regain all of your hit points, and you are ready to take the next day on in stride.
Do we level up?
Oh. So what level are you guys now?
3.
3.
Yeah, you level up. Yeah, absolutely, you level up. Because you got through the ambush, and you cleared the whole hideout. So that is for sure worthy of a level.
Ooh, I gotta add an ability score improvement.
Ooh.
Now Binks has a +5 on dexterity.
He has a 17
Ah.
in strength.
Um, how are you guys feeling? Do you want to start a new day? I know it's a little earlier than the 10:30 time that I had quoted us to be done at. If we're pooped and ready to tap, this is a good opportunity for it. Otherwise, we can get you guys at least started on your next day and into the next thing if you want. Totally up to you.
Andres, what do you want to do?
Really, the only thing I'd want to do is get that Morning Star for Hans, but I don't know if that's I don't know how much time that would end up taking.
I mean, it depends on whether or not you would intend to stop in to, if you're going to wait for Barthen's provisions to open, to stop in to talk with Barthen to get your payment, on your way out of town, or if you are just, planning to, kill a day, basically. Wake up, go find the cavern, pull the Morning Star out, come back. You can kill a day doing that, no big deal.
Uh, I think it's probably better to wait then, because if someone else is going to be joining next time, now it's going to be a better time to. Now would be like a good time for them to hop in if they were.
Yeah, they could walk in and meet you guys for breakfast at the Stonehill or something like that. It would be a good opportunity to pick somebody back up. Sylvester could you guys could spot him from across the room, or maybe Dawn pops out of a shrub or some shit. So that sounds good to me. Jennifer, are you on board with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. Then we will call it a little earlier than expected. We got started a little late. We're ending, a little earlier than the mark that I was hoping for there. But that's how it goes sometimes. You can't really control D&D. It goes at It goes at its own pace. So, give me just a sec, you two. I'm gonna go end the stream, and then I'll come back.
All right.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for being here. I want to get that on stream. I'm going to thank you again in a minute. But anyway, I'll be right back. All right. Cool, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Network, thanks for being here, man. I know that Token came and stopped by earlier. I've been just keeping one eyeball on the viewer count. I know that we've got a couple folks who've just been lurking around. Super appreciate you guys being here. It is the end of the stream. We do have a few folks here still, so I think it is raid time, raid 30, raid o'clock, and my buddy Jarl is playing. We're on a similar stream schedule, and so I do end up raiding him a lot because he's usually streaming still when I get done, and they're actually playing Dungeons and Dragons right now. So let's go sit in on them. Let's see how they're going. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. Anybody who is catching this after the fact, watching it on YouTube, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out my videos. Cheers, network, and let's go drop it on Jarl. Let's see what he's up to. Oh, you gotta spell Jarl. You gotta spell his name right. Jarl of Goats. There we go.
And then I will hold my actual action